Welcome to CSS tutorial for beginner to advanced. This is Yamin, your course instructor. So this is a CSS tutorial for beginner to advanced. It means we'll start from the very basic, and then at the end of this tutorial, we're going to talk about some advanced things about CSS. And here you can see at the beginning, we'll talk about how to color a text, how to center a text. And at the end of this tutorial, you'll be able to make a product card, you'll be able to make a menu bar, also a footer for a website. So once you follow this whole tutorial, you will be able to have enough knowledge to create any kind of website. Obviously, it is not possible to teach you everything about CSS, but you will get enough knowledge to work with any kind of website. So we'll follow this serial, and if you want, you can read those. If I start reading those 18 topics, it will take some time. So you can read it by yourself. So let's get started with our first topic, changing text color. Hello everyone, in this tutorial I'm going to show you how you can change text color in HTML. So I'll show you 3 ways how we can do it. So here you can see we have 3 lines of text here. So let's change the text color. So for it, let's go back to our code. And here you can see we have H1, H2 and H3 tag. So here in the first H1 tag, we're going to say style. Then in this style, we'll set color. Let's say it will be red. So here we are just mentioning in this H1 tag that the text color will be red. If we now save, then refresh here, there you can see the color is red. So there is one more way to do it, and that is here what we can do is in this H2 tag, we are going to mention a class. Let's say class name will be my color. Then we'll go inside the head section, and in the head section, we are going to say style. Then what we are going to do is that here you can see we mention a class called my color. And for class, in the style, we need to give a dot. Then we need to mention the class name, which is my color. After the dot, then we can give to second bracket, and here we can say color will be sky blue. So this text color will be sky blue because here you can see we mention class equal to my color, and in the my color class we mention color is sky blue. If we now save, then refresh, there you can see this text color is sky blue. So there is one more way to do it, and here you can see we have a tag called H3. So using that tag, we can also change the color. We do not have to mention a class. So here in the style, what we are going to do is that we are going to mention this H3 tag. So we say H3, and since this is a tag, we do not need to give any dot. So we can just say here color will be, let's say, yellow. If we now save, then refresh, there you can see this text color is yellow. So this is how you can change text color in HTML CSS. So right now I am going to show you how you can align text to the center of your browser. So for it, here you can see we have a text over here inside H2 tag. So here I am going to say style, and all you need to do is that we need to say here text align, it will be center. If we now save this and refresh here, there you can see it will be center. If we increase our browser size, it will always be in the center. But the thing is, we shouldn't use style directly inside the tag. What we should do is that we should mention a class. Let's say here my underscore text. We should mention a class, and using the class, we should write our CSS. So right now, let me just go inside the head section. We are going to say here style. In the style, we are going to say dot my underscore text. Then we'll give to second bracket, and again we can just say here text align, it will be center. If we now save and refresh, it will stay in the center. So let's go and change the font size of our text and also make it bolder. So here, if you want to change the size of the text, you need to say font size. Let's say it will be 45 px. If we now save, then refresh, there you can see it got bigger. And if you want to make it bolder, we need to say here font weight, it will be bold. Bold or bolder, let's say bolder. If we now save it and refresh, okay, H2 tag is means already bold, so let me just say here pdat. If we now save it, then refresh, then you can see there is no difference. I think you feel that way, but if we just cut this, save it, then refresh, there you can see it's not bold. But if we just say here font weight bolder, then refresh, it become bolder. Now let's go and create a hover effect for our text. Let's say when we take our cursor on our text, the color of the text will change. So for it, here you can see we already mentioned class equal to my text. So here we are going to say dot my underscore text. Since we want to change the color when we hover our cursor or mouse, so we need to give a clone, then we need to say here forward, then to second bracket, let's say the color will be red. So we need to say here color, it will be red. If we now save, refresh, take our cursor here, there you can see it become red. Now let me show you how to change the background color of your website using CSS. So here you can see we have a body tag. So in the body, I'm going to say here style. And here in this style, we are going to say here background. Let's say background color will be sky blue. If we now set this, then refresh here, there you can see the background color changed. You can also use a class one here as well if you want. So this is how you can change the background color. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how we can add background image in HTML step by step from the very beginning. So in the body, if we just say h1, let's say add background image in HTML. If we now save this and if we open it in browser, there you can see add background image in HTML. Or you can also open it from here as well. If we just go inside, here you can see index.html. We can open it from here as well. So right now, we want to add a background image for this. So for it, first of all, what we need to do is we need to get the image, this image. Here you can see image on.jpg. So I'm just going to cut this image from here and I'll paste it in this HTML background folder. Inside this HTML background folder, so I'll just paste the image. Let me just zoom in. There you can see we have the image and index.html. So right now, in order to show that image as a background, what we need to do is that we need to use this body tag. So first of all, let's go inside the head section or head tag. Then in the head tag, we need to say here style. And in the style, we're going to mention this body tag. So we're going to say here body, then to second bracket. So for this body, we're going to mention the background image. So we'll say here background image. Then we'll send here URL to first bracket to single quotation, and here you can see we have the image on.jpg. So we're going to give this image name inside this URL. So we're going to say image on.jpg, and just make sure that the name and the extension for the image is same. So right now, if we just save this and if we now open it in the browser, there you can see we have the background image, but it repeated 2 times. Here you can see the image ended over here, then it started here again. So in order to solve that, what we are going to do is we are going to write over here background repeat. It will be no repeat. If we now save, then refresh here, there you can see the image did not repeat this time, but it didn't take full size of our skin. So for it, we need to write 2 more lines, just 2 more lines. We're going to say here background attachment, it will be fixed. And then we're going to send here background size, it will be 100%, 100%. If we now save, then refresh here, there you can see the image took the full size of our background. So this is how you can add background image in HTML. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can change image size in HTML. So here you can see in the image source, we have an image, and here if you go to the browser, here you can see the image is too big. So let's make it smaller. So in order to do that, what we are going to do is that in the image, we are going to say width, let's say it will be 600, and we'll also mention the image height, it will be, let's say 400. If we now save this, it will change the image width and image height. if we save, then refresh here, there you can see the image size changed. And there is one more way to do this, and that is, let me just remove this, and after it we'll go inside the head section, and in the head section we're going to say here style. Then in this style we are going to mention the image tag. Then to second bracket we are going to say here width, it will be 800 px, and we'll also say here height, it will be 600 px. If we now save this, then refresh, there you can see the image height and width changed. So this is how you can change image height and width in HTML. Hello everyone, this is Yamin, and in this tutorial I am going to show you how you can center an image in HTML. So let's go back to our code editor, and here you can see our simple HTML structure. And here first of all what we are going to do is that we have an image over here. This image, we are going to have that image in the body. So first of all let's mention the image tag, and in the source let's give the image name, which is image.jpg. So right now if we save it, then if we now open it in the browser, there you can see we have our image like this. So let's go and write the style for the image, and let's make the image in the center. So we are going to mention a class over here. The class name will be, let's say, center underscore img. Right now let's go to the head section, and here we are going to say style. Then in this style we are going to say dot center underscore img. So here we need to give dot center underscore img, because for class we need to give a dot. And here first of all let's mention the image width. Let's say the image width will be 30%. So right now if we save, then if we now refresh, there you can see our images look like this. So let's make it in the center. So for it let's go back, and here we are going to say display, and we need to say over here block. Then we need to say over here margin, it will be auto. If we now save, then if we now refresh here, there you can see our images in the center. So right now if we want it a little bit below, then for it what you can do is that you can just say over here margin top, then we can say over here 10%. Save it, then refresh here, and there you can see our images in the center. You can move the image in different position by using margin top, margin left, right, and bottom. And in this tutorial I am going to show you how you can show text over an image at any position. So I am going to show you everything step by step. So let's go back to our code editor, and here you can see index.html, and in this body first of all let's go and show an image. So before we show the image, we need to keep that image inside a div. So inside this div we are going to mention the image tag. Then in this image tag let's give an image name, which is image on dot let's say png. Here you can see image on dot png over here. So right now let me save it, and let me just open it in the browser, and there you can see we have the image over here. First of all let's go and fix the image height and width. So let's go back, and here we are going to mention a class. Let's say the class name will be main underscore img, and in the head section let's go and first mention the style tag. Then in this style tag we're going to mention this class main underscore img. So since this is a class, we need to give a dot, then we need to say over here main underscore img. Then to second bracket let's say image width, it will be 100%, and the image height, it will be 600 px. So let's save, then let me refresh here, and there you can see. So right now what we need to do is that we need to show the text over the image. So in order to do that, here you notice that I keep this image inside a div over here. So for this div we need to mention a class, and the class name will be, let's say, slider, and let's go in the style.css, and for this class slider we need to mention a style. So we'll say over here slider to second bracket, and we need to say over here position, it will be relative. Since we want to show text over the image, we need to say over here position is relative. So you must make the position relative, and after that we're going to mention a let's say h2 tag, and we're going to say over here hello, can you see me? So right now if we save it, then if we now refresh, the text will be shown over here. Let me just refresh here, and there you can see that the text is over here. So right now let's go and show the text over this position. I'll show you how you can position the text over any position on the image. So let's go back, and here for this h2, let's say over here class, and class name will be subtitle, let's say. So we need to write a style for this class, subtitle. So here we're going to say dot subtitle, we'll give to second bracket, and here for this subtitle we need to mention position also, and this time the position will be absolute, not relative. The position will be absolute for the text. Then we are going to mention where we want to position our image. So let's say we want to position our image over here at the top in the center. So what we are going to do is that we are going to say over here top, it will be 10%. Then we'll say over here left, it will be, let's say, 40%. And let's also mention the color for the text, it will be white. And font size, it will be, let's say, 30px. Save it, then let me just refresh here, and there you can see. So there you can see there is some gap, 10% gap from the top, and the text is over here almost in the center, because we said left will be 40%. So right now let's say you want to show another text, and that text needs to be in the center. So let's say over here h on tag, and we're going to say over here read more. And for this, what we are going to do is that we're going to mention another class, and this class name will be main text. Let's say main text, and then we're going to say over here dot main underscore text. Then we'll give to second bracket over here. So we are going to write the CSS style for this read more main underscore text. So right now what we do is that, just like before, we are going to mention over here position, it must be absolute. Then we are going to say over here top, it will be 50%. We want this text to be in the center. So we are going to say over here left, it will be 50%. We need to say here transform, translate, it will be minus 50%, comma, minus 50%. So it will make our text in the center no matter whatever our device size is. So right now if we save, then if we now refresh, there you can see you are able to see the read more option. So let's go and make the text color white over here. So let's say over here color, it will be white. Then let's say over here background color will be black, and we are going to say over here padding, it will be 15px. So right now if we save it, then if we now refresh, and there you can see. So this is how you can show text in the center or any position over an image. And in this tutorial I'm going to show you how we can put image on a text using only HTML and CSS. So this is actually really simple. So for it, let's go back to our Sublime text first. So over here, okay, let me just open it over here like this. So over here, what I'm going to do is that here by default my background color is this one, as you can see. So right now in this body we are going to say over here h on. Then in this h on we are going to say hello. If we now save it, here you can see hello right now. So let's go and write down CSS for this hello. So for it, let's mention a class. Let's say class name will be txt. Let's go inside the style tag, and in this style tag we're going to give dot txt, then to second bracket, and here we're going to set font size, it will be 180px, and after that we're going to say top will be 30%. If we now save, there you can see it is over here. Now let's over here left, it will be 50%. Save it, and after it we're going to say transform, translate, it will be minus 50%, comma minus 50%. So this will make our text in the center. Okay, that text is over here. So in order to make it in the center, we need to say over here position. It needs to be absolute. Absolute. If you save it, then you can see it is in the center. So right now let's make the text border. So we are going to say over here font weight. It will be border. After that, we are going to say font family. Font family. It will be copper, play, comma, fantasy. If we now save, then you can see it looks different right now. So let's make all the letter into a uppercase. So for it, we need to show over here text transform. It will be uppercase, and there you can see everything is in uppercase. So right now let's go and have a background image over here. So we are going to say here background. We are going to say URL to first bracket to single quotation, and here you can see I have an image over here. I have an image. Let me just make it bigger. There you can see I have an image over here. So we are going to have this image for the text. Let me just make it bigger like this. So here in the URL, we are going to say image3.jpg. We are going to say image3.jpg. There you can see we have the image in the background. So let's say over here background size, it will be covered. If we now save, there you can see we are able to see the image a little bit properly, but let's just say over here 50%, then 50%. So we'll be able to see the image a little better. There you can see. So right now what we want is that we want the image to be on the text, not on the background. So here we need to give a minus, then we're going to say over here WebKit, then minus, we'll say here text, fill, color, it will be transparent. So first of all, we'll make our text transparent. So trans. So here you can see we are not able to see the text, but the text is still there. Here you can see we still have the text, but the text is transparent. So right now what we do is that we will only show the image part where there is text. So for it, we need to give again minus, then we need to say over here WebKit minus background clip, and it will be text. So we are saying that the background will be where the text is. So right now if we save, and there you go, the image is only where there is text. If I just make it bigger over here like this, there you can see. So let me just increase the text size from 180 to 300, save, and there you can see. So this is how you can put image on a text. So I hope you like this tutorial. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can keep image and text side by side in HTML and CSS. So this is really simple, and I have an image over here, you can see. And first of all, let's go and get the image. So for it, we need to write the image tag, and in the source, we need to mention the image name, which is image1.jpg. And after that, we're going to write some random text here. So here we are going to say some random text, then save it. And if we now open it in the browser, there you can see we have the image and we have the text. Let's go and fix the image size and also change their position as well. So for it, let's go back to the code. And here in the image source, we are going to mention a class. And in this class, the class name will be image_tg. So we'll now go to the head section. In the head section, I'll say here style. In this style, we're going to mention this class name, which is image_tg. So since this is a class, we need to give a dot here, then that class name to second bracket. Let's say the width for the image will be 30%. And okay, let me just show you. If we now save it, then refresh here, there you can see image is over here and the text is here. So what we want is that we want the image to be on the right side and the text to be on the left side. So for it, what we are going to do is really simple. We are just going to say here float right for the image. So if we just say here float right for the image, then the image will be on the right side. So if we now refresh here, there you can see image is on the right side and the text is on the left side. but there is still some code left. So for it, what we need to do is here we are going to keep the image and the p tag inside a div. So we are going to say here div, and this div will end after the p tag. Here you can see the p tag. After the p tag, we are going to give the div. So for this div, we are going to mention a class. The class name will be, let's say, div underscore dg design. Again, we are going to write some CSS for this. So here we are going to say dot div underscore dg, then to second bracket. First of all, what we do is that here you can see our image and text is taking the full width of our skin. So what we do is that we are going to make our text and image to take the 70% width of our skin. So for it, we are just going to say here width, it will be 70%. If we now save it, refresh, and there you can see it took 70% of the skin and that is 30% left. So right now, there you can see the image and text is almost close together. So we're going to add some padding for the image, and let's also have a background color for image and text. So for it, here in this div underscore design, we're going to say background color, it will be sky blue, let's say. And here for the image, we're going to add a padding. So we say, let's say padding will be 20 px. Save. Then if we now refresh here, there is some padding between the image and the text, but the color only contain the text, not the image. So in order to fix that, what we need to do is, here we put this div underscore dg, we are going to mention another div here, and this div will end after this div. Okay, so let me just write it like this way. And like this. So this div ended over here, and here for this div, we're going to say here class. First of all, using this div, we're going to make it in the center. So we're going to say here, let's say center underscore design, and in the style, we're going to say dot center underscore dg, then to second bracket, we're going to say here display, it will be flex, then justify content, it will be center, then align items, it will be center. So what this three line will do is that it will make our text and image everything in the center. So whatever we have inside this center underscore div, everything will be in the center of our skin. So right now, if we refresh, there you can see everything is in the center and the background color is also fixed as well. So right now, over here, you can see that the text is too close with the background color. So we can fix it. So we can just say here, the p tag, here you can see of the p tag. So I'm just going to say here, the p tag, since this is a tag, we don't need to give any dot. So I'm just going to say here padding, it will be, let's say 15 px. Let's also say here font size, it will be 18 px. If we now save, then if we refresh, there you can see. So if we want some gap over here, what we can do is we can use margin top. So here in the center underscore design, we can say here margin top, let's say it will be 20 px. And let's also add some padding. Let's say padding will be 15 px. If we now refresh here, there you can see there is some gap over here and there is also some padding. So let me just show you one more thing. If we just copy this, the whole div, then paste it, let's say 2 times on and 2, save, then refresh, there you can see. So everything is in the center and everything is perfect each time. Hello everyone, this is Yamin, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you how you can add a background image or a div in HTML, and I'll show you everything step by step. So let's go back to our code, and here you can see we have a simple HTML structure. So in this body we're going to mention a div, then in this div we're going to mention a class. Let's say the class name will be box, So for this class box, we are going to write some CSS in order to create a div box. So we'll go inside the head section. In the head section, we'll mention the style tag. Then in this style tag, we're going to write some CSS for this class box. As if this is a class, we need to give a dot. Then we need to mention the class name, which is box. So we'll give to single bracket. Inside this first, let's mention the box height. Let's say height will be 600 px. Then width will be, let's say, 600 as well, and let's say height will be 500, not 600. So right now, if we just open it in the browser, we'll see nothing. So let me just add box shadow here. So we'll say box shadow, it will be 0px, then 0px, 0px, and 2px, not 20, 2px, and the color for the box shadow will be green yellow. So if you now save this and if we open it in the browser, let me just open it in the browser, and there you can see we are able to see a box here, and we have a green yellow color as a shadow of the box. So inside this box, we are going to have a background image. So for it, we need to say here background image, then we'll say URL to first bracket to single quotation. Let's say we want to get this image as a background, and the image name is image_on.jpg. So we are going to say here image_on.jpg. Make sure that the image name and extension is exactly with the image. If we now save this, then if we refresh, there you can see the image look like this. So we need to fix it. So we are going to set here background attachment. It will be fixed. Then background repeat, it will be no repeat. Let's also mention here background size, it will be 100% and 100%. So it will take the box whole height and width, the image. So this is the image part, this 4 line. If we just write those lines, then refresh here, there you can see our image looks like this. So right now we'll be able to add some text and any button here if you want. For example, if we just go inside this div class box, let's say here age_on. In this age_on, let's say adding background image in a div. And let me just also mention a p tag here. And for this p tag, I'm going to get some text. Let me just say here random text. Let me just copy this from here and let me paste it here. If we now save this, then refresh here, there you can see we have a text over the image. If you want this div to be in the center, we can do it as well. We just need to set here, let me just say here at the end, margin, it will be auto. Save this. Refresh, there you can see it is in the center. We can add some padding if you want. Let me just add some padding and margin as well. So here, after box shadow, we're going to say margin, it will be 10 px, and padding, it will be 10 px. Save. Then refresh here, there you can see right now there is some padding. So right now, let's say you want to have multiple div with different images. So how can we do it? Let me just show you. If we just go back to our code and let me just copy this div, then if we just paste it here 2 times, the same thing. So let me just say here background image. Let me just cut some line from here, and for this one, let's say adding background and cut some line. If we now just save this, then refresh here, it will show you like this. And if we just scroll down, it will show you the image like this, but every div will show us the same image. So if you want to see different image, how can we do it? This is simple. For it, what you need to do is that here you can see background image. So we are just going to cut this from here. Then we'll go inside this first div class box. Then here I'm going to say style. Then we'll say background image URL image_on.jpg. And for this second div class box, we are going to say background image, or not this. We'll first say style, then background image. and this time we'll get this image which name is image 2 and this is image 3. So here we're going to say image 2, then here we're going to say image 3. All of them is JPG. If we now set this, then refresh here, there you can see we have our first div, then the second div with different image, and this is the third div with different image. So if you want those divs side by side, you can do that as well. Let me just show you. Here you can see this is the div plus box. So before this, we are going to mention a div, and this div will end over here after the last div. Then what we are going to do is inside this div, we are going to mention a class, and the class name will be, let's say, main underscore div. So for this main underscore div, we are going to write some CSS. So we'll go at the top, and here we are going to say dot main underscore div, then to second bracket. So we are going to say display, it will be flex, then justify content, it will be center, and align item, it will be center. So what this will do is that, or whatever div we have inside this main div, everything will show us side by side in the center. So if you now save, then refresh here, there you can see it will show you like this. And if you want to add some gap among them, we can do that. Let me just say here in the box, let's say margin will be 25 px. Set it, then if we just refresh, okay, let me just cut this margin 25 px after margin auto. Let me save it again, then refresh, and there you go. It will show you like this. So this is how you can add different background image for different div in HTML and CSS. I hope this tutorial was useful to you. If you have any question or suggestion, just let me know in the comment section. Hello everyone, in this tutorial I am going to show you how you can design a button with hover effect using HTML and CSS. So first of all, let me just declare an anchor tag here, and in this anchor tag, let's set here click me. Let me just set this, and if we now open it in the browser, there you can see we have a button right now, clicking it. So here beside this anchor tag, we are going to say here class, let's say class name will be my underscore button btn. So right now we're going to write some CSS code for this. So let's go inside the get section, and with that made, I'll say here style, and in the style we're going to write the CSS for this my button. So let me just copy this. As this is a class, we need to give a dot here, then we need to give our class name, then to second bracket. So let me just first remove the underline from here. So for it, we are going to say text decoration, it will be none. If we save, then refresh, there you go. So we need to make it look like a button. So for it, we are going to say background dark blue. Then we are going to say here the color for the text will be, let's say, white. If you now save, then refresh, it will look like this. So let me just add some padding. Let's say padding will be 8px. Let me refresh here, there you go. So let's just make the corner a little bit round. So here we are going to say border radius, it will be 10px, and there you go, it become round. So instead of 10, let's say here 8px. I think that will look better, and there you go. So let me just add some shadow here. So for it, we need to say here box shadow, let's say it will be 008px, then 0, and we need to give the color for the shadow. Let's say it will be this one, it will be black. This means black. You can choose different color. If you save it, then refresh, there you can see right now there is a shadow. And while we hover the cursor on the button, we want the background color to be changed. So for it, we are going to say dot my underscore btn, then we are going to say here hover. So we are going to add the hover effect. So for it, we are going to say background color, let's say it will be black, And if you want different text color, you can do it as well. For it, we are going to set the color, it will be yellow. So the background color will be black and text color will be yellow. If we now save it, then refresh, and there you can see the background and text color changed. So we can add a little bit of transition so that it looks better. So for it, here we are going to set transition, then we are going to set background color. It will be, let's say it will take 2 seconds to change the background color. 2 seconds is, and let me just copy this and paste it here. So if you want longer duration, you can set here, let's say 5 seconds and 5 seconds. If you now set it, then refresh, and if you now hover on it, the background color will change slowly. There you can see. And if we just remove our cursor from here, it will take total 5 seconds to change to the original color. So I think you should make it 2 seconds and 2 seconds here, and let's say here sky blue. Let me refresh. If we now hover on the button, the color changes slowly, and if we remove our cursor, the color again will change slowly. So I hope you right now know how to create a hover effect and create a button using HTML and CSS. Hello everyone, in this tutorial I'm going to show you how you can add icon to a HTML website. So here first of all we need to search here font awesome CDN link, then press enter, then just go down and here you can see cdnjs.com. Just go to this website, click here and it will take you here. Then from here you need to copy the first one. So in the middle you will see an option copy link tag. Just copy this, then you just need to go to your HTML file and paste it inside the head section. We'll paste it here. After that, in the body we're going to get the font awesome icon. So in order to get the font awesome icon, let's just search here font awesome, only this one, then press enter. Then you will get this link fontawesome.com. So we'll click here, and also click here, it will take you to this page. So after coming here, you can see at the top icons option. Just go to the icons, then here you can search for Instagram. You can search for any icon. So whatever icon you like, so those are the paid on and those 3 are the free version. So you can copy those icons. Just click on that icon and here you can see eyeglass Favans for Instagram. So if we just click on this, there you can see it got copied. So after copying it, you need to go back to your code and then you need to paste that icon here. So if we now save this and if we open it using our browser, there you can see the Instagram icon. Let me just zoom in. Here you can see. If you want, you can change the icon height and width and also the color as well. Let me just show you. So let's go back to the code, and here what I'm going to do is in the head section I'm going to say here style. Then in this style you can see our class name is for Instagram. So I'll just copy this and in the style I'm going to say for Instagram and it will be dot, since this is a class. So here in this for Instagram class we are going to say font size. It will be, let's say, 150 px. Then we can also change the color. Let's say the color, it will be red, or we can say orange red. Let's set this. It will go back to the browser, then refresh. There you can see our icon got bigger. If you want, you can also get the different icon. For example, if you just say here in the search option, YouTube, press enter. There you can see we have the YouTube icon. We can just copy this from here by clicking. Then go back to our code, then paste it here. And for YouTube, let's just also write the CSS for it. And okay, let me just copy, then paste it here. And for YouTube, it will be only red. And for Instagram, let's make it sky blue. Save. Then refresh here. There you can see we have the YouTube icon and the Instagram icon. Right now it is sky blue. So this is how you can add icon to your HTML website. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can add icon in a HTML button. So here, first of all, let me just say here button. In this button, let's say register. If we now save this, then if we open it in the browser, there you can see we have a button here called register. And in this button, we are going to have an icon. So in order to add the icon, first of all, we need to search in the search bar font awesome CDL link. Then press enter. Then you need to go to this link cdnjs.com. So we'll go here. Then we need to copy the first link. So I'll just click on this middle option and it will be copied. Or you can also copy it like this as well. So after copying this, you need to go back to your code and in the head section, you need to paste it. After that, since we add the font awesome CDN link, we'll be able to use font awesome icon for this button. So let's go back to our browser and we're going to search here font awesome, only font awesome this style. And once you search for font awesome, you will get this link fontawesome.com. Just go there and there you can see. So right now we'll click on this icon option at the top. If you click on icon, it will show you the icons. So you can see here login or the register, doesn't matter. Just search here, let's say login and press enter. There it will show you a lot of icon and most of the icon here is paid, but there's also free option here as well. If you just click here on the free option, it will show you the free icon here. Let's say we want to get this icon. So for it, just click on it. Then it will show you the icon like this. So I'm going to copy this. So if you just click on it, it will be copied. So after copying this, let's go back to the code. And in the button, we just need to paste it just inside the button. So let me just show you like this so that you can understand clearly. So in the button tag, we'll have this I tag. If we now set this, then refresh here, there you can see we have the icon. So you can make a design if you want. For example, let's make some design for this button tag. So for it inside the head section, let's say here style. Then in the style, we're going to mention the button tag to second bracket. Let's say the font size, it will be 18 px. Background color will be sky blue. And the text color, it will be white. Then font weight will be 4. And let's also say here border radius, it will be 10%. If we now save this, then you press here, there you can see the button design changed. Let's just say here padding, it will be 10 px and background color will be, let's say blue. Let's save it and let me just refresh and there you go. We have the button that look like this. So you can add any kind of icon inside the button by using font awesome. I hope this tutorial was easy for you to understand. Hello everyone, in this tutorial I'm going to show you how we can create a responsive card using HTML and CSS, and I'm going to show you everything step by step from the very beginning, and this is actually really simple and easy to make. So let's get started. So let's go back to our code, and here you can see I have a simple HTML structure here and I have some images here. So first of all, in the body I'm going to mention a div. And in this div, let's mention a class. Let's say the class name will be mind_card. After that, I'm going to mention another div here. And in this div, we need to mention a class. The class name will be only card, let's say. So here, we are going to keep an image in the card. So we need to mention the image tag. And in the image source, let's just keep the first image, which is t-shirt on.jpg. So let's say here t-shirt on.jpg. Then for this image we need to have a title. Yes, the title will be paste t-shirt, and if the t-shirt has a price, let's keep it inside a b tag. Let's say here price, it is $200. $200, and we're going to also have a button here. The button will be inside the anchor tag. So let's say here buy now. So this is the anchor tag. We'll make it look like a button. If you now save it and if you now open it in the browser, it will look like this. So right now we need to write some CSS in order to make this look like a card. So let's go back, and first of all we're going to write some CSS for this card class. So let's go inside the head section. In the head we say here style. Then in this style we need to mention this class card. Since this is a class, we need to say here card. Then to second bracket we need to say here max width. Make sure you write max width, not just width. Okay, so that width will be, let's say, 250 px. After that we're going to say text align. It will be center. All the text will be in the center. Then let's add a box shadow. Let's say box shadow will be 0, then 4px, 8px, then 0. We need to mention the color. So in order to mention the color, we'll use this on RGBA, and you can choose different color. I'll just keep it how it is. If you now save it, then refresh here, there you can see it looks like this. So right now let's just fix the image, and we need to keep the image inside the box. So let's go back, and here we're going with some margin. It will be 20 px. Let's also add a padding. Let's say padding will be 10 px. If we now save, then refresh here, it will look like this. So we are going to right now keep the image in the center. So for it, we are going to decrease the image size. So let's mention a class for this image. Let's say card image img. We now need to write some CSS for this class. So we are going to say here dot card underscore img, then to second bracket, and let's say image height, it will be width, it will be 100%. Let me set it and refresh here, and there you can see right now it is inside the card. So what will happen if we have multiple cards? Let me just show you. If I just copy this and paste it 2 times, then save it, then refresh, it will look like this. It will go like a column. So we want the card to be side by side in a single row. So for it, let's go back, and here you can see I keep all those div, or I keep all those div class card inside the div my card. So right now we're going to write some CSS for this my card. So here in the style we're going to say dot my underscore card, then to second bracket we're going to say display, it will be flex, then we're going to say flex orb, it will be orb. We want everything to be in the center, so justify content, it will be center, and item, align items, it will be center. If you now save it, then refresh here, there you can see everything is side by side. So let's just make the design for the button and also change the image for each card. If we just go back, and here it will be, let's say, t-shirt 2, and this will be t-shirt 3. So there you can see I have t-shirt 2 and this one is t-shirt 3. If we now save, then refresh, there you can see everything looks different. And if we just copy this div again and paste it here, save it, refresh, it will look like this. There you can see. So let's design the button. So for it, here you can see it is inside the anchor tag. So what we are going to do is that the anchor tag is inside the class called card. We are going to set here dot card, then mention the anchor tag, the second bracket. We are going to set text decoration, it will be none. Then background color, let's say it will be sky blue. The text color, it will be white. Let's add some padding. Let's say padding will be 6px, and let's also make the background round. So we are going to say here border radius it will be 10%. If we now save it, then refresh, there you can see it will look like this. And let's also do one more thing, that is when we hover our cursor on the button, the color should change. So let's say here card anchor tag, we'll say hover to second bracket. Let's say the text color will change to yellow. Save it, refresh, take my cursor here, there you can see it becomes yellow. For now, I think this is enough. I hope you right now know how to create a card using HTML and CSS really easily. Hello everyone, in this tutorial I am going to show you how you can create a simple nav bar using HTML and CSS. So this is really easy. So here you can see we have a simple HTML structure. So inside the body I am going to mention a tag called nav. Then inside this nav I am going to have some anchor tag. So let me just give a hash here. After that I am going to copy this anchor tag and I will paste it 1 2 3 4 and 5 times. So here first I'm going to say here home, this will be let's say products, then here I'm going to say about us, this will be contract, this one will be let's say login, and this will be register. So right now if we just save this and if we open this in the browser, there you can see it will look like this. So we are going to make some design for this. So let's go back to our code. And right now we'll go inside the head section, and in the head section we're going to say here style, and first of all we're going to make a design for the anchor tag. So the anchor tag is inside the nav tag, so I'm going to say here nav, then the anchor tag, then I'll give to second bracket. So here I'm going to say text decoration, it will be none. So what this will do is that it will remove the underscore sign from here. If we now refresh, there you can see there is no underline here. So right now let's just fix the design a little bit. Let's add some padding here, and let's also change the color as well. So let's go back, and here I'm going to say font size, it will be let's say 17px. Let's say the text color, it will be yellow. Then we are going to say here margin right, it will be 15px, and let's also say here margin top, it will be 5px. So margin right and margin top will create some gap on the right side and also at the top side. If we now save it, then refresh here, there you can see it become yellow. So let's add a background color here. So let's go back, and here you can see those anchor tag is inside the nav tag. So we're going to write some CSS for this nav tag. So here we just need to say nav, then to second bracket we're going to say background color, it will be sky blue, and let's also mention a height. Let's say height will be 60px. If we now save this, then if we refresh here, there you can see there is a background here, and there you can see there is some white space here. So let's remove this. So for it, what we need to do is here we're going to give a star, then to second bracket we're going to say here margin, it will be 0, then we say here padding, it will be 0. Save it, then refresh here, there you can see there is no space or gap right now. So let's have this inside the center. So in order to have it inside the center, what we need to do is inside this nav we're going to say display, it will be flex, then we'll say here justify content, it will be center, then we'll say here align item, it will be center as well. If we save it, then refresh here, there you can see everything is in the center. So right now let's go and add a logo here. So in order to add the logo, I already have an image here. You can see the image size is quite big. So here inside the nav we are going to mention the image tag, then in the source I am going to say here nature.jpg. so I am going to say here nature.jpg, and let me just change the width. Let's say width will be 60px, let's just say 60. If we now save, then refresh here, there you can see we have the image here. So let's have the image a little bit over here. So for it, let's go back and we're going to write some CSS for this image tag, or we can say here class. Let's say class name will be logo, and let's write some CSS for this class logo. So since this is a class, inside the style we need to say here logo, then to second bracket, and I'm going to say this one, margin right and margin top. Let's say margin right will be 15 px and top will be 5 px. If we now save it, then refresh here, there you can see the images over here. If you want to move it a little bit, we can say here 30 instead of 15. Save it again, then refresh, and there you can see. And let's do one more thing, that is when we take our cursor on the menu, let's change the color. So let's go back, and here those are inside the anchor tag. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to say here nav anchor clone hover, then we'll give to second bracket, and when hover the color will change to, let's say it will be white, or let's just say red. You can give different color if you want. If you now save, then refresh here, take my cursor here, there you can see it become red. And instead of background color sky blue, you can say here, I think black will look good. Let's say here background color will be black, then refresh, and there you go. So right now let's go and make some design for the login and register option. Those options should have a different design. So for it, let's go back, and here you can see the login option here. So inside this login anchor tag, we're going to say class. Let's say class name will be login. So let's go inside the style section, we are going to say here dot login, then to second bracket we're going to say here background color for the login, let's say it will be green. Then we're going to add a small padding, let's say padding will be 4px, and we want it, okay, let me just show you. If you now save it, then refresh, there you can see it look like this. So let's just make it round, the background. So for it, we need to say here border radius, it will be, let's say 10%. If you now save it, then refresh, there you can see it become round. And I think the text size is too big for this login. Let's just make it a little smaller. Let's say it will be font size, it will be 10px. If we now refresh, there you can see it look like this. I think 10px is too small, let's make it 14px. And let's just write the same thing for the register button as well. So here I'm going to say class, it will be register, and let's write some CSS for this. So here I'm just going to say here dot register, then to second bracket, and right now I will copy this code from the login and paste it inside the register. And let's say for register the color will be sky blue, padding is fine, border, okay, everything is fine. If we now save it, then refresh, there you can see we have this login and register option. And I think the logo should be a little bit over here. So let me just go back, and here you can see for the logo, let's say instead of 30, let's say 130. Save it, refresh, okay, this is fine. So this is how you can create a simple nav bar using HTML and CSS. I hope this tutorial was easy for you to follow and understand. Hello everyone, in this tutorial I am going to show you how you can create a simple responsive footer using HTML and CSS, and I will make this footer in a really easy and simple way. So first of all, here you can see we have a simple HTML structure. So in the body I am going to mention a div, and in this div let's mention a class. Let's say the class name will be footer. After that, in this footer we're going to have our website name. So let me just mention a div, and in this div let's say h2, and here let's say our website name is web knowledge. So for this div we need to mention a class. Let's say class name will be header, you can name it anything, basically class name. So if we now save it, then if we open it in the browser, there you can see we have a text here called web knowledge. So let's go back to our code, and let's just make the basic footer structure using HTML. Then we do the design. using CSS. So after this div, we're going to mention another div. Let's say for this div, we need to mention a class. The class name will be footer underscore content. Then in this div, we're going to have some links for social links like Instagram, Facebook, then our page links and also the addresses as well. So let me mention a div here. Then in this div, let's say H2. First of all, we're going to mention the services that we provide. So we say here services. Then we're going to mention the services and we're going to keep it inside a p tag. And in the p tag, we're going to have a anchor tag. And for this href, we're going to give a hash here. So let me just copy this p tag and I'm going to paste it 2 times. I hope you can see it clearly and properly. So in this anchor tag, let's say here web development. Then we're going to say here app development. And let's say this will be digital marketing. So right now, if we save it, then if we now refresh our browser, there you can see it will look like this. So let's have a few more options for social links, quick links and addresses. So let's go back and this time I'm just going to copy this div and paste it here. So here this will be social links. So here let's say it will be Instagram, this one will be Facebook and this one will be Twitter. So after this we're going to have quick links. So let's say here quick links of our website. In a website we have like home page, about us page and also contact page. So we'll say here about us, then we'll just say here contact. So we're going to write our last div for the address. So here we're going to say address, and for address we cannot use anchor tag, we only use the p tag. So here let's say Washington DC, Stamford Lane House 22. Just a random address. Here we're going to give a phone number, let's say random phone number, and this one will be our email address. Let's say our email address name will be webknowledge@gmail.com. If we now save, then refresh here. So here you can see everything looks like this. So right now, first of all, let me just change the background color for our footer. Let's make our background color black. So let's go back, and first of all, what we are going to do is that we're going to create a style.css here. So I'll just right click here, then click on new file, and I'm going to say here style.css, Ctrl S, then save. So we need to link this style.css with our index.html. For it, we need to go inside the head section. In the head section, we need to say link, and the link here you can see href, it will be style.css. We'll say here style.css. So right now our style.css is linked with our index.html. First of all, we want the background color to be black for the footer. So let's go back to the code, and here you can see we have a div class footer, and inside this div class footer, we have every other things for the footer. So first let's go and write some CSS for this class footer. So we go to our style.css. Let me just open a split view here so that you can see both of those. So here we're going to mention this class. Since this is a class, we need to give a dot. Then we need to say here footer to second bracket. We're going to make the background to be black. So we'll say here black. And we'll also make the width to be 100%. If we now save this, then refresh here, there you can see it is black. And then you can see there is some space over here at the top, at the left and right side as well. So we're going to remove those. So for it, let's go back, and here, let me just give a star here. Then we'll say margin, it will be 0. Padding, it will be 0. And we'll also mention box sizing, it will be border box. If we now set this, then if we refresh, those gap will be gone. There you can see there is right now no gap. And there you can see we are not able to see the text because the text color is also black. So we need to change the text color. So let's go back again, and here let me just first change the text color for web knowledge. Here you can see it is inside the header class. So we are going to give dot header, then we'll mention the h2 tag because it is inside the h2 tag, this text. We'll give to second bracket. We are going to say here color, it will be white. Let's also mention it. Font size, it will be, let's say 24px, and let's give some padding. Padding will be 20px. If we now save this, then refresh here, there you can see it is here. So let's make it in the center. So for making it in the center, we just need to say here text align, it will be centered. Save it again, let me refresh, and there you go. So let's also fix the color for other things as well. Let's go back, and right now we're going to change the color for the anchor tag. So here you can see every link or everything is basically inside the anchor tag. So, and those anchor tag is inside this class called footer underscore content. So we are going to say here dot footer underscore content, then we are going to mention the anchor tag. So here we'll say anchor tag to second bracket. So for anchor tag, you can see we have an underscore here and the color is purple. So we are going to say text decoration, it will be none, and the text color, it will be white. Let's also mention the font size, it will be 15px. Let's add a margin, let's say margin will be 15px. Save it, let me refresh, and there you can see. So let me just fix the services, social links, quick links, and those on as well. And here you can see we have h2 tag which is inside the class footer underscore content, and we have h2 tag for services, social links, quick links, and addresses. So we are going to say here footer underscore content to second bracket, and this is h2 tag, so we need to mention the h2 tag. So first we are going to say color, it will be white, then font size, it will be, let's say 22px, and let's say margin, it will be 15px. If we now save it, then refresh, there you can see those are back, services, social link, quick links, but the address is still missing. And the address is basically we write it inside p tag. So what we are going to do is that we are going to mention this class again, then we are going to mention the p tag. So again we are going to set dot footer underscore content, mention the p tag, then to second bracket, and this time I can just copy this from here, color white, font size 15, and margin 15px. We can just paste it here, save, then refresh, and there you go. So everything right now looks quite good. So right now we want the services, social link, quick links, and addresses in a single row, side by side. So for it, we need to write some CSS for the footers and this footer content. We do not want to have this side by side. So first of all, we need to mention the footer class. Then we are going to mention this class, footer underscore content. So for it, we need to say here dot footer underscore content, then to second bracket. So here we are going to set display, it will be flex. Then we need to say justify content, it will be space between, or not space between, it will be space evenly. So what this will do is that whatever div we have inside the footer underscore content, inside this class, everything will be side by side by those two lines. So right now, if we save it, then refresh here, there you can see everything is side by side. Right now, let's do one thing, and that is when we take our cursor on the option, the color should change. So for it, we're going to set here, you can see we have footer content anchor tag. Let me just copy this and paste it here. Let me just remove those. And here we're going to set hover. It means whenever we take our cursor on any option, it means we are hovering it. And when you are hovering it, we want the color to be changed. And let's say the color will be yellow. Let me save it. Let me refresh. If I now take my cursor here, there you can see the color change. So right now, let's go and add a copyright option here, that copyright by someone at certain times. So let's go back, and this time we'll go back to here. So inside this class, div class footer, we're going to have a tag called footer. So here, before the last div, we're going to set here footer, and in the footer, we're going to write a HR this one. So this will create a state void line, and here we're going to set p tag, and in the p tag we'll set copyright by @web technology. Let's also add the year, which will be 2024. So if we save it, then refresh here, there you can see, and we cannot see the text because the text color is black. There you can see, and we'll also make it in the center. So for it, let's go back, and let me just open the speed view again. Let me put down, and here we're going to mention the footer tag. Since this is a tag, we don't need to give any dot. Then we'll give the p tag to second bracket, and for the color will be white, and we want the text to be in the center. So we set here text align, it will be center. If we now save it, then refresh, there you can see. So we can also add some padding here. Let's say padding, it will be 15 px, and font size will be 15 px as well. Save, then refresh, and there you go. So this looks quite good, and if you want, you can also add some icon for Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter as well. So let me just take the responsiveness. So if I just right click here, then here you can see we have an option called inspect. If I now click on inspect, and if we now make it smaller, there you can see, and after a certain length, that design changed here. There you can see. So it's not totally responsive after a certain length. So it's not responsive, let's say after, let's just say 730. After 730, we'll change that design. So here you can see, you will be able to see the pixel here, px. So we have to make it responsive. For it, we need to say here @media, then to first bracket, we're going to say here max width, then the max width will be, let's say 730 px. So we'll give to second bracket. So after a certain width, we'll make some change in the design. We'll show those in a straight line like this, not in side by side. So for it, what we need to do is that, let me just copy this. Here you can see dot footer content. I'll paste it here. So this time, instead of justify content, we're going to say here flex direction, it will be column. And let's also say here text align, it will be center. If we now save this, then refresh here, and after 730, we mentioned here 730 max width. So after 730, it will show us in a column. There you can see it will look like this. So it is responsive. You can check it for different mobile design as well. This is how it will show in iPhone XR. This is how it will show in iPhone 14. and this is the design for pixel, and this is how it will show on laptop or any case. So this is how you can create a simple footer using HTML and CSS, and you can make it responsive really easily. I hope this tutorial was easy for you to follow. If you have any question or suggestion, just let me know in the comment section. What type of video I should make next, also let me know. Make sure to subscribe, and I hope to see you in the future tutorials.